it's a constant thing where we're trying to figure out like, hey, if we turn that on full time, what is it going to look like every time? Now, these guys got lucky that, they had a lot that would succumb to the way that we typically
Yep.
build. Unfortunately, if you had 15 out there, maybe 3 of them or 5 of them would fit that criteria, and 10 to 12 of them would have to have some kind of elevated, built on pylons kind
Yeah.
of scenario. And that's not something that we do every day. It's not something that we would know how to price up front. Those are things we're solving in the back end all the time. It's like, okay, if we're going to do this and there's demand here, all the way down through, from Leland to Hampstead, wonderful. Like, what is it going to take so that we can execute 100% of the time, no matter what that obstacle looks like when we go do the site visit, So those are things that we're constantly like, that's feedback that comes back, right? Like, oh, okay, this one worked, but this homeowner over here, it was something that was going to be wild that maybe isn't conducive to a traditional Barndo. We got to do some exploratory stuff there and figure that out so that we can offer it to more people, because there's definitely people there that want them.
Yeah.
But there's always a reason behind why we're doing what we're doing. Like we want people to have the same experience every single time.
Yep.
And those anomalies can sometimes throw some stuff in there, right? Where like we're discovering with you, and if we don't know, and we go through that process and realize, hey, the county is going to require that this thing have 10 foot of elevation on pylons, and for us to go in here and do it, which is doable, but it's going to require this, this, and this, and it's $90,000 more dollars than normal. If we don't have the ability to tell them that on the front end, then it kind of sets a bad situation, right? Their expectations and their experience aren't going to align,
Right.
and we're going to end up with a disappointed client. So rather than have a disappointed client, we'd rather do all that research on the front end,
Yep.
be able to tell you all that information on the front end, and then get there, so that we can send James to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
But what do you think, if you were talking to a homeowner, right, who's getting ready to have a conversation with us, they've been thinking about doing this, or maybe they've just onboarded, right, as a project manager to prepare them for the actual building, right? If they were sitting there and you could give them some advice of how to make it as fluid as possible so that they have a great experience, y'all work well together, and that y'all can get to the desired outcome as fast as possible, what would that be?
Expect rain. Don't be shocked when you see the concrete poured and it looks smaller than what you had in your vision. My wife dealt with that, so that was a fun one. And honestly, just communication at the end of the day just solves 99% of the problems. Every one of my clients has my phone number. They text me 8 o'clock at night. Hey, I just thought about this, or hey, we just went by the house. We noticed this, and I respond to them. I mean, that's just my personality. Depending on what it is, and if I don't have an answer for them, or I'm doing something with the family, I'll be like, hey, let me look into this and I'll get back with you. But I always follow up with them for sure and at least give them an answer. But not communication is honestly the key to having a smooth building process. Bad news doesn't get better with time, but it's still news.
Right.
Like we can't control the weather. It is what it is. We hate it as much as you hate it. We want to get you in your house just as much as you want to be in your house. So honestly, I would say communication is by far the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's just important because I think sometimes like people see something and they don't know what the process is. They don't know if that's a problem. And then they're afraid to communicate it. Maybe it lingers and then it comes across as almost like it's them versus you versus the reality is like it's us versus the world, right? We both have a desire here. We want to get done on time, on budget, as fast as possible, as great as possible. We want you to move in because we've got hundreds more to build, and this is your forever home, and we want it to match up right? Like, well, there's no advantage to us for this to take longer. There's no advantage to us to have an issue on the job. We're teammates.
Yeah.
We're teammates throughout the entire build.